welcome back to Woodstock Guitar Guy, and we're here talking about parts casting, more parts casting, and creating guitars out of parts. It's a wonderful hobby. It's a great profession if you want to go really do a deep dive into it. And if you're a player like I am, it's just kind of magical to be able to pull together a completely wonderful, playable electric guitar, and out of parts, out of almost thin air, and for not a lot of money. I mean, that's really that was the driving force for me, and now it's become a kind of a thing where it's a challenge to find like the best parts, the best pickups, the best tuners for the least amount of money. And I've had the chance to kind of, go through a lot of variety, and I have a huge pile of stuff here, that either for one reason or another didn't work out. So what I end up doing is, I'll do a project for a client who wants a parts caster. Okay, so and we work together to kind of like, well, what do you want? And they'll say, well, I want this kind of neck and this kind of body and these kinds of pickups, and I'll make my own, kind of recommendations, and we'll kind of build it together, and it works out fabulously, I think. What happens to me though is that I tend to really like these guitars that I build for other people, and then I turn around and feel like, well, I should build one like that for myself. And because I hate to see them leave, it's like, oh wow, what a great guitar, and then it's like, whoop, off it goes, bye bye. So what I've been doing lately is trying to catch up with some of these projects I built and duplicate them for myself. And I've got a couple here today to talk about. One is this Partscaster Telecaster, okay, which came together primarily because I had some pickups lying around from leftover projects. I really liked the neck that I had put on the last couple of customer orders, and it was a roasted maple neck that I believe the company who makes it is US Tone Works, but I get them through a guy in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. It's called Sam's Music Shop, and the guy who runs it is named Dave, but that's okay. Dave's a great guy, and he's very quick with the turnaround, and the product, the necks are always really nice, and they just seem to be getting better over time. They're improving, which is always a good sign, and the price is reasonable. I mean, it's less than half what you would spend on a real Fender. I mean, it's way less than half, and it just, I don't know. I just like them personally. My hands fit them perfectly, and they come polished. They come all ready to go, and you just got to tighten up the truss rod, because they come a loose truss rod. Tighten them up, and they fit beautifully in the. I've had really good luck fitting the pockets, and so anyway, that's how this guitar was created, because I wanted a version of the neck that I had just put on somebody else's guitar. Now what happened was, and this is the fun part, is that he only had it in the lefty, okay? So I said, all right, let's buy the lefty, and I bought the lefty, which I just got to tell you, if you're new to this and just getting started, when you use a lefty neck, you have to buy lefty tuners. And I found this out the hard way. I just put the regular old tuners on a lefty neck, and and it was like, hey, that's really hard to tune. Everything's backwards. So there aren't a lot of options for lefty tuners out there, but I believe it's Music Lily. Um, no, it's Geiger. Geiger has a really nice locking tuner that is for lefties, and that's what I put on here. And it was all they were like on sale for $22, which, come on, that's in the scheme of things, it's not a lot. And the body I bought from Guitar Fetish, and it was on sale. It was blemished. I can't find the blemish here anywhere, but I liked it because it had this cutout here, cutaway, you see, and it also had like this cutaway. Where is it? Here, right here. See, big scoop. Okay, belly scoop they call it. Although I don't have much of a belly anymore, which is good. But if you got a belly, you might want to consider a belly scoop. Now, I had the pickups laying around from other projects. One of them in the back is a tone hatch, and it sounds fabulous. I really, really dig it. And the one up front is a Wicked, which is a copy of a Fender Twisted, and it comes from US Tone Works. And it's a wonderful, wonderful pickup. And then I went with I kind of did I guess it's Roy Buchanan who did this, where he flipped everything around. I bought a pre-wired harness, okay, which, look, I'm getting lazy in my old age, and I got to tell you, the pre-wired harnesses, if you pick a good company that, does a quality job, it's like totally worth it. And this was even one I think I just, picked up off of online. It was only $30. It wasn't even like a custom made or anything like that. But I did flip it around. I put the volume here and the tone here, and then the switch down here, which is kind of like backwards of what Telecasters usually are. I did that. And I bought a bridge that was, well, I mean, it's a Wilkinson, I believe. I think I got a Wilkinson. I got something really good to put on here. I wanted to kind of give it, I mean, it's a Telecaster. The whole thing all in was maybe a couple $100. Okay, so it's a real bargain. But now I want to tell you one other thing about lefty necks, which if you play right-handed like I do, and you get a lefty neck and put it on your guitar, which is fine. You get the added benefit of some kind of a tone variation, because the low E string is long and the high strings are really short. They bend a lot easier. This was a string through, okay, so I as opposed to a top loader, but it still plays really sweet. I mean, it bends super, super easy, and I love it. I mean, I like that part about it a lot. And a lot of that is because it's a lefty, okay? Those high strings are shorter, so they bend easier, which is what I've found. But what you don't get is you don't get dots on the side of the neck that you're going to be looking down at, okay? The dots are all on the other side of the neck. You can see them, right? The dots. But you can't see them because you're playing right-handed, a left-handed neck, and the dots are on the bottom. So what do you do? Well, here's what you do. I haven't done it yet, but you you go to this company that makes a product called this, and it comes in two colors, black and white. So if you have a maple neck, you might want to put black dots, but this is a rosewood neck, so I want to do white dots. And these are pre-made to fit right in. They actually give you the drill bit. It's tiny, and you have to drill holes down into the rosewood, little tiny holes into the rosewood to match where the dots are, okay, so that you can see it. So, and then what you do is you don't go very deep. I mean, you only go like, they tell you in the instructions, you get a hole, they tell you how to do this right here, okay, it's really easy, it's totally easy, and you just get a X-Acto knife and you pre-cut the thing so that it's like roughly, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or something like that, and or 3/16, and then you drill your hole to match, and tiny little bit of glue on there. You could use wood glue, you can use super glue, and then you pop it in the hole, and then you come back and you sand it down, or file it down, whatever, to reach the level of the fretboard, and you're done. You've got white dots. Okay, so I had to also learn that the hard way, and nobody warned me. I'm warning you. If you're going to switch and go left-handed neck, be prepared. You're going to have to go to this company, which is called, let me see, I'm right here. They're called Cigar Box Guitar Factory, LLC, and they're from Katy, Texas. And they sell these things. And they sell them to people who build cigar box guitars. So, now this is not a cigar box, but it is, and it did turn out to be a fabulous instrument. Now I got another one here. Well, we're talking about parts casting. I did the same thing with a Stratocaster, and because I really liked the pickups that I had put on the customer's guitar. He had bought a Tone Hatch Spoonful Stratocaster pickups, and they're like, the whole set is like $89. They're hand wound. They have a scooped middle, which is something you don't see very often. And I had I guess, what did I do? I think I bought a wiring harness, a really kind of a pricier one. It was about $50 instead of 30. And it's what it did was it kind of changed the value of the cap, okay, so that it's not a .22, which is what you would normally do with single coils, but it's a .47. And what that does, it's kind of what you use on humbuckers, and it kind of rolls off the high end a little bit, because I'm not a huge fan of very bright pickups like ice picks. And if I get an ice pick, if I can't tone it down, I get rid, I pull it out of there. I've got a few on the shelf that they're ice pickers. And so anyway, that was what I did with this, and that's what made it a little bit different. It's a string through. It's not the, it's got what's called the hardtail, all right? And I really like hardtail Stratocasters. And this one plays beautifully. It's got the same neck from, a Stratocaster version of the neck from the Sam's Music Club in music shop in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it went together pretty well. It's the Guitar Fetish body, which was a clearance. It was on sale. It had some problems. Now with this particular neck set, I had to go in and kind of sand the sides, both sides of the pocket, in order to get it to fit snug. Because at the moment, when I first tried putting it together, the neck was a little bit too big for the pocket. Not much, just enough, So I started sanding away, and a very strange thing happened, which hasn't happened to me very often, and fortunately it was my guitar that it happened to. But you'll notice that the finish right here. Now this is a very hard polyurethane finish that Guitar Fetish puts on their bodies. I just was lightly sanding down here, and a big chunk of finish popped off. It just popped off, brand new. And I glued it back on with super glue, and my plan is when I get, some spare time, I'm going to kind of fill it in with some paint and white dust and try to clear it up so you won't even see it. And I'm just going to do that for fun, kind of as a challenge, because I want to, I got to tell you, when you get to this point and something goes wrong, I don't panic. I actually feel like, hey, that's great. I got something new to learn, or something interesting to fix, or some problem I have to solve, which makes it even more interesting. But this thing is a beautiful guitar. I went with, like a black and white motif, and I just want to say, these pickups are great. The neck is beautiful. It's got the dots on the right side, which is good, And I went with a like a vintage style tuner, locking tuner. They have the white buttons on there, and we heard this coming in. We'll hear the telly going out, but I just want to say, it's really a blast to be able to take a whole bunch of parts, or order up what you need and, get them. Now, I bought the body, the bridge, and the pickguard from Guitar Fetish, and it was all on sale. It was a big President's Day sale or something like that, and I saved a lot of money. So this guitar came together for about, I don't know, $250 or something like that. The neck was on sale for $100. You got to pay shipping, and I usually factor that in, and it keeps going up. But I've been told that these guitars play better than the Fenders, and I have to take that as like an amazing compliment, because I've done a lot of these, and not all of them have turned out great, believe me. But when I get one that does, it's a real amazing feeling of satisfaction. And then you get to play it, and it just sounds great to play. So anyway, you're going to hear the telly going out. You heard this coming in. And thanks again for tuning in. The t-shirts are here. Here they are. I got the t-shirts. Woodstock Guitar Guy. And we'll still try to figure out how to set it up so you can actually buy one with like PayPal or something like that, if you're interested. And if you're good, you never know. You might get a deal. But I'm working on it. We're moving ahead. All is good, and we'll be in touch, and I'll see you next time. If you like what you're seeing, hit like. If you haven't joined, hit join. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Check out my music. I've got a whole bunch of these videos that you can go back through. We're talking about budget guitars, parts casting, restoring inexpensive projects that you dig up. And we're also, we also wade into more expensive instruments and the value. Sometimes it's worth paying an extra, $300, $400, $500 to get something that is exceptional. And, and it's being able to identify that is a real skill. So the more I can share with you, the better. I think I know at this point a few things about it, but I'm always learning. So, okay, with that, hats off. We'll see you later. Peace, love from Woodstock, New York.
Yeah.